Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So in today's episode we're going to be upgrading the hi-fi in the car. Now the car has got a really good sound system anyway, but there's something lacking. Let me show you what that is. Okay, so the Q5 was well equipped for its time. It came with electric seats and the great MMI entertainment system and navigation system that Audi have fitted. But there's one thing that's missing from this particular model. Now if you look on the screen now, you see that we have our media and we can install a whole lot of stuff in the media, but there's one thing that is really missing and really does my head in on this vehicle, and that is that the only way that we can plug my phone into the car is if I want to hear music from my phone. I either have to put stuff into an SD card, stick music onto a DVD, or use the AMI connector. Now that to me is just really archaic. Most modern day cars, they come with Apple Play, Android Play, I don't know what the Android system is, and then you have a variety of controls that you can use here. But yet on the Audi there's no USB ports on this model. I mean, remember this car was made in 2011, so in 2011 in-car entertainment systems weren't really a thing, or were still evolving. So I've got a mod for this car that will really fix that. It will install Apple Carplay into the car, and it will allow me to connect to it via a USB or using Bluetooth. But before we do that, we have to strip our system. So we've got to take out this multimedia player here, which is our main player, and that's where you put your SD card. So we've got to take that out, and we also have to take out the heater controls because the system actually fits behind here. So let's start doing that, and then we can look at the system that we're going to fit in the car itself. Okay, so we've taken this stereo out. Let me just light it up a little bit so you can see. So the stereo has been taken out, and as you can see behind there's a nice cavity for us to play with, and behind here, so this is the heater control. As you can see, this is very thin, that doesn't go back deep at all. So what we'll do is we'll take the heater control off, and then we will start dismantling this. Right, so here's the system in question that I bought. I would love to tell you what the brand is, but there is no brand. There's just this serial number on here that relates to absolutely nothing if you try and Google it. I did get it from eBay. It's come from China, I know that, because of the packaging that it came from. There is no instructions with this, just wiring, but on the eBay ad it just says plug and play. So I'll put my fate in my hands now. We're going to try and get this all connected up. It is pretty straightforward from the point of view that it just plugs into the various connectors, and so let's see how we get on, and then we'll do a soft fit and see if we can get it working. If we get it working, happy days. But because I've got no instructions, and your guess is as good as mine whether this works or not. If I do get this working, I will put a link into eBay. Whether that link will stay, who knows, but at least you can get an idea of where I got this from. As you can tell by my tone of voice, I don't have much faith in this system, but you never know. Sometimes these things do work out well. Let's give it a bash. Okay, so in this mess of wires, everything is connected up as I think it should be. I've got these two cables here that need to be connected up together. I believe they go together, but without instructions, who knows? So I'm going to make an attempt now. I'm going to turn on the car and see if we get any life. Okay, so the car system works, which is good. Now on my phone I noticed that if I search for it, I can actually see it. So there's CarPlay, can you see that there? So it does exist, but of course it's asking me for a Wi-Fi key that I don't have, so I can't actually connect to it until I get the Wi-Fi key. But it does seem to be working, in the sense that it's talking to my my phone, but that's about it. Without instructions, I'm kind of lost. So the question is, do I leave it plugged in and get in contact with these guys and find out what's going on, or do I take it apart and do it again? I might just take it apart. I'm not going to leave this in the car, because if there's a problem with this and the Wi-Fi is well, if we can't get the Wi-Fi key, then there's no point leaving it plugged in if I have to take it apart again. I'll have a think about it.
72 hours later.
Okay, so it's a few days later and finally we now have the instructions. So we're going to go back and install the rest of the Apple Play kit. Right, so we are back to where we were, but this time we have our instructions. So we actually connected everything up correctly the last time. Now what we're going to do is, we've got our lead here that connects to our Apple phone. So I'm gonna just put the camera down for a second and connect the phone up. There we go. So the phone is now connected up. So the way that this works is, the first thing we have to do is we have to set these toggle switches. Now they are different for each car. Now on the Q5 we have, this is upside down, let's turn it the right way up. So the first three on the Q5 are up, the next three are down, and then the next two, which covers the Bluetooth and parking sensors. If you've got parking sensors and Bluetooth on the car, which mine does have, you put those up. If you don't, then you put those down. So that's the dip switch, and that's the information that we didn't have the last time that we were installing this. So with everything in place, the way that you operate the system is to turn it on, you hold the nav button in for 3 seconds, and then to turn it off we hold the return button, and then that should return it back to normal. Now one thing that I have missing is my AMI cable. I do have a socket in place there, but it's dead, it's not doing anything, so I need to get an AMI cable if I want the sound to work. But first of all we need to see if this works. So we're going to put the key in and just turn the ignition on. So we'll wait for the screen to come up, which it does. So we know that that works, and we can just test the radio very quickly. In fact, and we know that my phone's working because it's just plugged in. So the phone is now plugged in and charged, and it's getting a charge from the car, which is good. And there we go. So CarPlay is actually started automatically, and we have something on the screen, which is great. Now I'm not this shouldn't work because there's no AMI cable, but we'll play it anyway. And it is working. It's working, but we've got no sound. We won't have no sound until we get an AMI cable. But the main thing is that it is working. So we should be able to now just go back. So let's do that. So because the menu should work as normal. You got the sun in the way here, so there we go. So we have our Apple menu, which is good. We've got our maps, and that seems to be working just fine. That's great. So that's maps, and what else could we do? Yeah, everything does seem to be working just the way that we want it to, which is good. Just no sound. So I might just go to Audi and see if we can get an AMI cable, because I'm pretty confident that that's going to work once we get that plugged in. In the meantime, we should just be able to pull all of this massive wiring back together, and we've now got Apple Play, and the screen looks really good actually. It fits the screen really well, and yeah, pretty pleased with that, because I always connect my device directly. I prefer to do that, but this can connect Bluetooth and wirelessly as well, and we do have the Wi-Fi key, so we'll see if we can get that to work. But in the first instance, this is working. Now we just need to get all of this to fit in that hole there, and boy do we have a mess. Let's see how we go. Okay, so we've got our system in play now. So if I hold the nav button in for 3 seconds, it should come up on screen, and it does. So I can then select all the different, look at that, I can even go into setup, and I can set the different settings in there as well, which is really brilliant. I love this already. And then I can go back. So it's all working. Then all I have to do is plug my phone into the trailing cable, and I've got my cable here for now, but what I'm going to eventually do, I'm going to take this paddle out here and then feed it through so it comes into here. I've got a 12-volt socket just underneath here, but for now we've just got it here. We'll plug it in. So now it's in my car. It should pick up. There it is. It's in. CarPlay is activated on the phone, and then it comes up on the screen, which is brilliant. So what I might do, Audi is supposed to be calling me back, but I might just go over to Halfords and see if I can get an AMI cable. If I can get an AMI from Halfords, then job done really. Don't have to rely on Audi, and then we can test the sound to make sure that the sound works. But as you can see, this is not fully in place. I literally just got to push it in, but I haven't done that yet because I just want to make sure that everything is working before I pull it in. But this cable's in here. I still have access to the ashtray. That still works. I don't smoke, so it's no skin off my bone. So yeah. And then once we're happy that this is in place, then we'll find a permanent home, a bit like what we did with the Fiat. So in the Fiat, I got an additional 12-volt a USB cable, fed it underneath the plastic, and then pull it into a place where it was easily accessible. And in this case, it will be in here. So what you'll see is the cable will come out, and then we'll be able to connect our phone up. So, but very pleased with that. Actually, it's worked really well. We just got to sort the sound now, and once we do that, then we can call this project a success. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to show you the wheels, because we had the wheels refurbed on the Q5 as well. Let me show you what they look like. So there you go. The wheels have been completely refurbed, and they are like, well, they are brand new now. All this car, I don't understand how a car like this with big chunky wheels could have damage and chips on the actual wheel, but it did. The alloys were badly chipped, but now they look fantastic. The center caps have been taken off because obviously for the treatment, and I've just got to leave it for a day for the paint to fully harden. But I'm really pleased with that, and it only cost me £360 to get the wheels completely refurbed, so, and looking like brand new. So there you go. So we've gone and got ourselves a new AMI cable. So this is the one that I got. This is wrong. This is a one that goes into the lightning cable on the iPhone. Doesn't work on this car because this generation of iPhone is not compatible with the MMI. So what you need to do is get yourself a normal aux AMI with a 3.5-inch jack, and then that will activate the external source for the car, which will then activate the CarPlay. So let's plug this in. To plug this in, very simply, just plugs into the port like that, and then you just leave it loose. That is it. You don't need to do anything more with that. Just leave it loose, close the box, job done. And now we need to change the setting on the source on the media on the main control. We'll do that now. So there you see it there. When you plug it in, you then see the external audio input, and that's quite important. That needs to be selected in order for CarPlay to work. Okay, so once we do that, let's turn CarPlay on. You hold on the nav button for 3 seconds, and then it will switch. So you can see that there. So let's play this. Let's see if this works. And there it is. It's working fine. I can't play any more than that because YouTube will demonetize me. But as you can see, that works just fine. So our CarPlay is now playing wonderful sound through my Bang & Olufsen system that we have here fitted in this car. And now we have CarPlay in a car that's 9 years old. And like I showed you before, it functions exactly the same way. I have all the functions, including Siri. Hey Siri. Does Siri work? Siri does work. Hey Siri, send a text.
Who do you want to send it to?
Jacob.
Which of these?
And there you go. So that is how you install CarPlay in your Audi vehicle, and this CarPlay is compatible with a number of Audis of this generation that has the MMI version 1. So I'll put a link to the company that I bought it from down below. This is not a sponsored video. I just think it's a good system and it works really well, and it's a great way to update your system and still have accessibility to the original sat nav, etc. So there you go. And that is it. The Q5 is now finished. Everything is now done on it and completed. We just got a couple of caps to fit on either side of the dashboard, and I've ordered those brand new from Audi because they were cheaper than getting it on eBay, would you believe? Yeah. I'm really beginning to have a lot of faith in Audi parts because they seem to have come down in price tremendously. Anyway, so we're now starting to think about our next project, and we are now in the process of preparing for that. I've sold the Abarth, which was heartbreaking to get rid of that car, but you know, we always do a winter project, and it's always got to be something decent. So I've got a really good winter project in mind. If you are a Patreon, you're going to know what that is by the end of this weekend, and for the rest of you, you'll have to wait. But it is coming. I'm just waiting for the right one to turn up, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a good project, something that I've wanted for a while, and we're now in a position to do so, and I'm selling all the cars that I have to make sure it happens. But yeah, so anyway, hope you've enjoyed this content, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe down here, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to click the notification bell for when you next see, or when you next see so you can know when we have our next episodes. And if you are a casual viewer, subscribing is really good for us as a channel, because I know a lot of you just view these videos. It would be good for you to come along with us on the ride. So we will see you next week on the next one. We will have a midweek video dropping this week, so look forward to look out for that when it arrives. It will be probably Wednesday or Thursday, probably Thursday. Other than that, we'll see you next Monday. So have a good week, guys, and we will see you on the next one.